Here's my philosophy on a deal. We're either going to punt the ball off or we're going to take it across the line. We're not going to carry the ball the whole way. And what happens is you get developers come in and the deal works in their favor for the long term. It should work for the citizens in the long term.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.
If you want to do business in the city of Youngstown, before you do the deal, before you buy the building, come see us in the city. Don't buy the building, then after the fact, ask what incentives are available. I want you to say, I got a deal on the table, what incentives are available, which ones am I eligible for, and which ones I'm not eligible for. The building may, sound good for price point. When you get it, you realize why it might be empty because you've got to figure out how to program it. And we may know that that's not the industry or the market that will fit in that building. The skin in the game with the developers is, they come in and they'll say, hey, I got a gap, they got a $10 million project, and they're like, I got an $8 million gap. I'm like, well, you don't have any skin in the game, and then I need a $2 million tax credit. So I need those developers to come in with some funds, their capital stack. A gap of $1 million, a gap of 500,000, that's a gap. But if you don't have anything in the project, you can't tax credit your way into a project. Here's my philosophy on a deal. We're either going to punt the ball off or we're going to take it across the line. We're not going to carry the ball the whole way. And what happens is you get developers come in and the deal works in their favor for the long term. It should work for the citizens in the long term. And my philosophy is you ask for public money, you give a public promise, you got to give a public product. And what we've done in the past, we've given them everything up front. We need to incentivize them to work to get there. Year 1, year 2. If you don't meet those benchmarks, then there's no return on your investment, or we're not out of public funds to help a business on their end.
The governor put in his proposed state budget $2.5 billion for the All Ohio Future Fund, which is designed to create sites for commercial and industrial development. We have a partnership with the city called an equity-based site readiness program, where we are identifying different sites within the city that can be primed for those kinds of developments. We'll create an action plan for each one of those sites, and that action plan is what's going to qualify us to hopefully get our piece of that $2.5 billion from the All Ohio Future Fund. A lot of communities don't take a proactive approach when it comes to getting sites ready. As I mentioned during the event today, the time it takes to get a site ready for commercial and industrial development extends beyond the political cycle, so lots of government officials don't see that far ahead. We are in partnership with the Brown administration. We are looking that far ahead, and we are going to position the city of Youngstown to have a lot of growth in the future.
The ARPA funds, we talked about how we're finding that groups and organizations were coming up to us to get services that they needed. We had service providers asking for funds for an opportunity to do work in another area. They had not been talking to one another. So we've been able to merge the two. Once again, having them talk to one another who hadn't not talked to each other because they didn't need each other, and now they saw a need. So we're breaking down silos with our ARPA funds, but I think it's going to be a greater service delivery for the citizens of Youngstown.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.